messieurs, votre attention s'il vous plaît. Bienvenue et bonsoir. Avant de commencer la pièce de théâtre, il y a un peu des choses. La première chose, c'est vos téléphones portables dans vos poches, dans vos sacs.
Quoi? Pas du tout, ce n'est pas possible.
Désactivez-les et mettez-les dans vos poches. Ou jetez-les dans la poubelle. Aussi, il n'y a pas de photographie. Parce que ça fait trop de bruit. Oui, tout le monde voit? Très bien. Après, la deuxième chose, il faut garder les allées libres. Tout le monde voit? Oui? Non? D'accord. Voyez-vous ce sac? Oui? Et maintenant, le sac est dans l'allée. Oh, j'ai mal aux pieds. Oh, ne marche pas. Bon, il faut garder les allées libres. Enfin, la troisième chose. Après le premier acte, il y aura un entracte. Bref. Alors, mais bref. Tout le monde voit? Très bien. Et maintenant, voici cette pièce de théâtre de Molière, l'école des maris.
An abomination from beginning to end.
Fit only to be consigned to the flames.
Every single syllable is a blasphemy.
The very plot is in need of criticism for its unlikelihood.
The plot is virtually non-existent.
It is not the main thing at all.
The first two acts consist entirely of gags.
The action does not begin until the third act.
Yes, his plays are certainly ill-constructed.
According to the rules of the well-made play.
Bewildering vicissitudes and an elaborate contrivance of suspense.
The very gestures of the actors is criminal.
People are unduly excited by such performances.
Boyer's own description of the characters are phantoms to delight the audience.
Disgraceful spectacles.
Sheer exhibitions of vice.
Mesdames et messieurs, Sa Majesté la plus chrétienne Louis XIV, le roi Soleil, par la grâce de Dieu, le roi de la France et de Navarre.
Sit down.
Begin.
Pray, brother, let us talk less. And I say, let us each live as he likes. Though you have the advantage of me in many years and are old enough to be wise, I tell you I mean to receive none of your reproofs, and that my fancy is the only counsel I shall follow, and that I am quite satisfied with my way of living.
But everyone condemns it.
Yes, fools like yourself, brother.
Thank you. A very pleasant compliment.
I should like to know, since one ought to know everything, what the fine critics blame in me.
That surly and austere temper which shuns all charms of society gives a whimsical appearance to you, makes everything peculiar, even your dress.
So I ought then to make myself a slave in fashion, and not wear clothes for my own sake? Would you not, my dear elder brother, for heaven be thanked, and so you are, to tell you plain by a matter of several years, and that is not even worth the trouble of mentioning, would you not, by your precious nonsense, persuade me to adopt the fashions of those young sparks of yours? Oblige me to wear those little hats which provide ventilation for their weak brains. That flaxen hair, the vast curls will conceal the form of human face, and those big collars falling down to the navel. Oh, and those sleeves, which one sees at table, trying all the sauces. And those petticoats you call breeches. And those shoes with the little ribbons on them, which make you look like feathered-legged pigeons. And the vast rolls wherein the legs are put in every morning as if it were into the stocks, in which we see these fine gallants straddle about as if they were beams of a mill. I should doubtlessly please you, but dies you this way. For I see you wear the stupid yeehaws which is the fashion to wear.
No, on the end.
For I see you wear the stupid yeehaws, which is the fashion to wear.
We should always agree with the majority and never cause ourselves to be stared at. Extreme shock and a wise man should do with his clothes as well as his speech. Avoid too much affection, and without being in too great a hurry, follow whatever customs introduce. I do not think we should act like those who exaggerate the fashion, and who are annoyed that one would go further in the extremes of which they affect. To
Spanish run.
Excuse me! But where are you going, if I may ask?
We really do not know. I was urging my sister to take a walk and enjoy this pleasant and fine weather, but...
As for you, you can go wherever you please. You can run off. There are two of you together. But as for you, I forbid you, excuse me, to go out.
Oh, brother, let them go and amuse themselves.
I am your servant, brother.
Youth will...
Youth is foolish, and old age too, sometimes.
Is there any harm in her being with Lenore?
Not so. But over here, you fool! But with me, I still think she is better.
But
Her conduct must be guided by me. In short, I know the interest I have to take it.
have I any less in her sister?
By heaven, each one argues and does as he likes. They are without relatives, and their father, our friend, entrusted them to us in his last hour, charging us to either marry them, or, if we should decline, to dispose of them hereafter. He gave us, in writing, the full authority of a father and a husband over them, from their infancy. You undertook to bring up that one. I charge myself with the care of this one. You govern yours at your pleasure. Leave me, I pray, to see manage the others I think best.
It seems
To me, and I say it openly, that it is the right way to speak of such something. You let your maid go about gayishly and stylishly. I am content. You let her have footmen and maid. I agree. You let her gad about, love idleness, be freely courted by dandies. I am quite satisfied. But I intend that mine shall live according to my fancy, and not according to her own. That she shall be dressed in honest serge, wearing only black on holidays, that, shut up in the house, rooted in bearing, she shall apply herself entirely to domestic concerns. Mend my linen in her leisure hours, or else knit stockings for amusement. That she shall close her ears to the talk of young sparks, and that is to not go out without someone to watch her. In short, the flesh is weak. I know what stories are going about, and I have no mind to wear horns if I can help it. But since her lot is required to marry me, I mean to be as sure of her as I am of myself.
Monsieur, I believe you have no...
Hold your tongue! I shall teach you to go out without us.
What, sir?
Good heavens, Catalina. Without wasting any more upon me. Your visits only bring me displeasure, and you will oblige us by visiting no more.
Do you wish that I shall likewise speak my thoughts plainly unto you? I know not how she regards all this, but I know what effect mistrust would have on me. And though we are of the same father and mother, she is not much of my sister if your daily conduct produces any love in her.
Indeed, all these precautions are disgraceful. Are we in Turkey that women must be shut up? There they say they are kept like slaves. This is why the Turks are imprisoned by God. Our honor, sir, is very weak indeed, if it must be perpetually watched. Do you think, after all of these precautions, are any bar to our designs? That when we take anything into our heads, the cleverest man would be not but a donkey to us. All that vigilance of yours is but a fool's notion. The best way of all, I assure you, is to trust us. He who torments us puts himself in extreme peril. For our honor must ever be its own protector. To take so much trouble in preventing us is almost even a desire to sin. If I were suspected by my husband, I should have a very good mind to justify his fears.
This, my fine teacher, is your training, and you endure it without being troubled?
Brother, her words should only make you smile. There is some reason in what she says. Their sex loves to enjoy their freedom. They are but ill-checked by such austerity. Suspicious precautions, bolts and bars make neither wives nor maids virtuous. It is honor which must hold them to their duty, not the severity which we display towards them. To tell you candidly, a woman who is discreet by compulsion is not often to be met with. Oh, we try in vain to govern all her actions, but I find it is the heart we must win. For my part, whichever care might be taken, I would scarcely trust my honor in the hands of one whose desires, which might set her, require nothing but the opportunity of falling.
That is all nonsense.
Have it so, but I maintain we should instruct you pleasantly. Chide their faults with great tenderness, and not make them afraid of the name of virtue. Lenoir's education has been based on these maxims. I have not made the crime for the smallest acts of liberty. I have always assented to her youthful wishes. And thank heaven, I have never repented of it. I allow her to see good company, to go to amusements, balls, and plays. These are the things, for my part, I think are calculated to form the minds of the young. The world is a school in which it teaches them better than any book. Does she like to spend money on clothes, linens, ribands? What then? These are the things which, when we are well off, we permit to the girls of our family. Her father's command requires her to marry me, but it is not my intention to tyrannize over her. I know our age is hard to suit, but I can leave her complete liberty of choice. If 4,000 crowns a year, great affection and consideration for her may, in her opinion, counterbalance in merit the inequality of our years, she may take me for her husband. If not, she may choose elsewhere. I would rather see her in the hands of another than have her hand be given to me against her will.
Oh, how sweet he is, full of sugar and honey.
At all events, that is my disposition. And I thank heaven for it. I would never lay down these strict rules which make children wish their parents dead.
But the liberty acquired in youth is not so easily withdrawn later on. Those feelings will please you but little once you have to change a mode of life.
And why change it?
Why?
Yes.
I don't know.
Is there anything in it that offends honor?
Why, if you marry her, she might demand the same freedom she once enjoyed as a girl.
Why not?
And you will go so far as to agree with her to let her wear patches and ribbons.
Doubtless.
To let her a guard about madly at every ball and public assembly.
Yes,
And
certainly.
And the beau will visit at her house.
What then?
Who will junket and give entertainments.
With all my heart.
And your wife is to listen to their fine speeches.
Exactly.
And you will look upon these gallant visitors with a show of indifference.
Of course.
Go on, you old idiot. Go inside. Hear no more of this shameful doctrine.
I mean to trust the faithfulness of my life and live as I always have lived.
Ha, well, how pleased I am to see him victimized.
I do not know what fate has in store for me, but I know if you do not alter yours, it is no fault of yours, because you are doing everything to bring it about.
Laugh on, giggler. But what a joke it is to see a raider of your age.
I promise to preserve him against the fate you speak of. If he is to receive my vows at the altar, he may rest secure. But I can tell you that I would pass my word for nothing if I were your wife.
We have a conscience for those who rely on us. But it is delightful, really, to treat such folks as you.
Hush your curse, Greta.
Brother, you drew these silly words on yourself. Goodbye, and alter your temper. And be warned, to shut up a wife is a bad plan. Your servant.
I am not yours.